All right, I made it back, Ollie. Marvin. Did Ollie make it?
No, but that's would be understandable if he doesn't make it. I'm hoping we can get Anastasia back. I sent her one directly or whatever. I think we're on YouTube, but there's no links or whatever, and I haven't posted a link to this one on the.
Oh,
Welcome back, Anastasia. I'm terribly, terribly sorry about what happened earlier.
you got it under control now.
I don't know that I have. I've restarted the room, and it's what I'm calling a sealed room. In other words, I've only sent invitations out to people that I know. So
Ah,
and that's sad. I wish we could be open to everybody, but that's sad that I have that I have to do this. But I want to preserve the sanctity of this room, quite
ah,
frankly. So.
yep.
So I appreciate you bearing with me, and once again, I apologize. Evidently, there's two or three guys, and it sounded like they were friends or whatever, and they just took turns coming into the room and disrupting us, and they did for a while. So hopefully they got their jollies off or whatever, and they can go find somewhere else to play
Yep.
their stupid little games.
No, what I
So
was asking, did you send Ollie an invitation?
I think he's in my. Do I have to send him one direct?
Chance.
I'm not sure, Marvin. I know you popped up on my
Yeah. Well,
email.
I've created a group that's called my mental health buddies or whatever. So I'll just blitz and send everybody an invitation that's on that list. And Anastasia, I have to send one directly because she's on her phone or whatever. But
Right.
uh, I'll send him another invitation just to be. I'm terribly, terribly embarrassed by what just happened or whatever. So it may take me a minute to collect my thoughts or whatever. So, uh, but
It was awful.
it is awful, and I'm gonna have to delete that video as well uh,
You
because
had to delete the video as well.
yeah, because there's nudity in the video
Because there's nudity.
and all kinds of crap that I don't want on
People
YouTube
to
forever.
see.
Yeah, forever and ever. So
Yeah.
so. But my learning curve is going to continue, evidently, being a moderator.
Yep. Yep.
What did Shakespeare said? Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I have to laugh. Otherwise, I'd get very,
Yep.
very angry or whatever. So I'm gonna try to laugh this one off. I'm sorry it triggered you, Anastasia, and anyone else that triggered or whatever.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go back to school and figure out how I can eliminate this in the future. And it just may mean that I have to keep the room sealed and just only
Yep.
invite people that I know or whatever. So,
Yep.
which is sad, but that's the way it has to be. That's the way it has to be. So,
Yep.
oh man, what were we talking about before we got
Solitude.
solitude? Oh, now that there's only three of us in the room, I can have some solitude.
Yeah.
I can think again. Oh my, oh my. And I think you were saying that you like a balance, right? You like
Yeah.
a balance of between being around people. Like I said earlier, big crowds of people do not turn
Big.
me on anymore. I
No.
mean, going to a concert or whatever. Sometimes, well, most of the churches I go to were fairly big anyway, but
Yeah.
oh gosh, Jamie's upset. She just commented on the Google thing. Why WTF or whatever. Man, man,
What?
man, man, man. Okay. I'm still trying to find.
The
Okay.
words.
Well, no, I'm trying to find the redo hangout or whatever. Now, Now, this one I did through the Google site or whatever, so they can watch it, but they cannot.
Get in.
They can't get in, and also they can't comment. When you do it on the YouTube side, there's an area where they can comment on the YouTube page, whatever. That's been taken down or whatever. Hopefully, these guys are not stupid enough to leave a comment on the video or whatever. So, okay, our friend. I'm not sure why he's going by now, but Miko or whatever says, I'm at
Panda.
Okay, Panda. I'm at Creek Nation Days, and oh yes, same-sex marriage is legal in all 50 states, and so I join with you in rejoicing for that, and have fun at Creek Nation Days. So that's okay. That's all right with me.
He can't go on the call.
Yeah, yeah.
On the call.
Which is fine and understandable. I want to be everybody's second choice. I don't want to be your first choice. Your first choice should be live people, family, friends, what have you or whatever,
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to be everybody's second choice, which was James K. Polk's strategy in 1844, and also Abraham Lincoln's strategy in 1860. Sorry for the history lesson, but it just popped into my mind. Are you okay? You need some water?
I just had a bit of an asthma attack.
Oh yeah, I've got a friend that lives in Leicester, England, or whatever, and she said her hay fever is really acting up too as well. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think
it's the hay fever and the asthma.
Yeah, she might be more out in the country than you are, or whatever. So there's probably more stuff. There's more stuff out there. So, okay. Okay.
Oh, feedback.
Feedback from where?
I just heard it in the background.
Well, there's only 3 of us, so there should not be very much.
What time is it?
Oh my gosh, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Oh my God!
You've got 5, 6, 7 minutes till 9 o'clock. So
After
you gonna take your meds?
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
After all that.
Yeah, you're ready. I wish I could take a pill right now, quite frankly. Oh man. Oh gosh.
What a nightmare.
Yeah. But you know what? We're gonna get through it.
We're gonna get through it.
We always seem to get through it or whatever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So. Okay. I'm just trying to check and see everything.
It's just life being a pile of spoff. That's the way I put it.
Yeah. Well, even radio shows have producers that filter all the calls. So I mean.
Yeah.
So, and it's just really sad that we're going to have to start doing that too. And hopefully this will be a lesson to the other moderators, Jamie, Jessica, and Joy. I know Joy, he's a take no prisoners kind of guy, so he won't put up with this bull crap or whatever. Yeah. But Jamie and Jessica, have a plan. That's all I'm going to say. Have a plan. And ejecting people is evidently not enough. So.
Not enough to tackle these people.
Yeah, but I ejected them, and it just happened. They kept coming in, so okay.
Not good.
No, not good at all. And what's really troubling is that there might be some people that would like to come in that really would want to come in and be a part of our discussion, and now they can't. So, so I just have to.
Marvin, I wouldn't take down that video until you talk to Google.
Yeah, I learned that lesson too. I
Yeah,
mean,
and you don't have to do it by email. You can call them and tell them, this is what happened. Basically, there was a mass attack on our hangout, and
welcome back, Ali.
hey, Ollie.
I think what I can do is I'm going to do some more research. But what I think I can do, I think I can make the video private. If I make it private, then nobody can see it, but the people that I let see it. So I just don't want to have it out there.
Yeah, you can make it private.
Yeah, I'll make it private. That way, people won't have to watch it or whatever because it was just really disgusting. Um,
It was disgusting. Yeah.
Ali, have you had any problems like this in your neck of the woods? Oh, he says, "Hey, thanks." So, is your microphone acting up? Okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna do. I'm thinking I'm gonna make it private so that way people don't have to see the disgusting display of this idiocy. What else can you call it? And so
Yeah.
yeah. But hopefully this is a good lesson for the other people, the other moderators in the mental health community or whatever. No one else. I need to ask some of the other people. I need to get with some of the other people and see what they do or whatever. I'm sure Dell and Jamal and maybe some of the others. Oh, okay. He's with the family and watching TV and don't want to bother them. Perfectly understandable. And if you want to just keep on typing, Ollie, so you can communicate with us.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm happy to read. I'm happy. I'm looking for content at this point, Ali. No inconvenience, no worries, no problems. Don't worry about that. But right now, I'm happy for some content or whatever. I was in a hangout Thursday night, and just really, really lovely lady from Los Angeles, California. She is the minister for an independent New Thought church or whatever, which is a really, really rare breed these days because, as you know, church attendance is down or whatever. But anyway, she's making a go of it in Los Angeles, and her mentor and the founder of the church is Della Reese. I'm sure uh, that name probably sounds familiar to some of the older crowd or whatever.
What time is it?
It is 2 minutes till 9 p.m.
Oh.
UK time. But anyway,
Cool.
I was with her in the hangout, and she does it very, very. There's the way she does it. She's basically a teacher. Okay, so her big
Yep.
thing is to get out information. So there's not a lot of interaction, and so her room is open, but you've got to go through her website. So that might be something worth looking into. So you go through her website. So that's one. That's like one filter there. So I mean, if you don't know who she is or whatever, but if you know who she is, you go through her website and you get into the room that way, and then everybody mutes themselves, and then we all display our icons, so that there's no head bobbing or anything like that. And so she can teach for an hour, and then if you want to make a comment, you make a comment in the sidebar like we do, okay? And she picks up on that or whatever. So she's a very very good teacher. So I may have to ask her about that or whatever because as we comment back and forth on videos or what have you. Oh yeah, it's Ramadan in well, it's Ramadan all over the world, but I mean they're celebrating Ramadan in the Middle Eastern countries or whatever. I understand. It's a big time for families to get together, and new TV programs come out at this time of the year over there. So I'm hoping Ali, you're having a great time with your family or whatever, and I'm hoping. Okay, I see. He says, by the way, if you don't want any trolls or uninvited guests, you may set the invitations to only friends and not public. Okay, I'll keep that in mind or whatever. That's some very very good advice. So, uh,
Yeah.
Okay, he says, well, I'm doing good. Thanks for your thoughts, Marvin. Like I said, I'm hoping you're having a grand time with your family and friends, and I hope it's dark over there so you can get a good meal before you resume your fast tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details about that, but I know it's a very, very special time uh, for uh, for Muslims or whatever, and I'm 11:01 p.m. Okay, so you're eating. Okay. Well, I'm very grateful that you're getting to spend time with your family and family, food, and friends and fellowship. That's what it's all about. So,
Yeah.
and we only do that. We do that at Thanksgiving and Super Bowl. Okay, if you have any questions about Ramadan, I'll do my best to answer. I don't have any questions right now, but I appreciate your openness and your candor. Uh, so, and if anybody has any questions, we'll pass them your way. So, gosh,
Yeah, I got one. I got one for Ollie. Uh, since I like food so much, what are your favorite dishes you have during the evening of Ramadan?
welcome, Panda. I thought you were at Creek Nation Days. Oh, that's a hard one. He says, "Oh, that's a hard one." So he must have many favorite foods or whatever. It was like my family. It was like my family. All the older ladies would always have their favorite dish that they would bring or whatever, and I would try to get a scoop of everything. So,
Yeah,
okay.
once you went through all the scoops, you were pretty much full.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then they would come by and they'd say, "Did you get enough? I know you didn't get enough. Did you get enough? Or whatever." So,
Okay, Ollie, what's some good sweets? Always into the sugar products.
yeah. What do you have for dessert over there?
I can't see the screen because I'm visually impaired. What's
Yeah.
he putting back?
I think Panda may be he may be doing some things with his family or whatever. I think he said it's Creek Nation Days in Oklahoma where he's at. Pardon me.
Well, well, Ollie, in the United States, like when we have holidays, we have cakes, pies, uh, bakery goods.
What is Creek Nation Days?
Creek is a and I'm sorry, Seminole, I think. But anyway, the Creek Nation and the Seminole Nation are tribes in Oklahoma and Native American Indian tribes. So they're having I guess like a Heritage Day where they celebrate their heritage. If I'm not mistaken, it's like a festival or whatever. Okay, Ali says he doesn't have a favorite food and he doesn't eat many sweets, which is probably a good thing because you won't have to look at diabetes down the road. And we don't have much room in our stomach after eating, so we just pretty much lay down and laze around. Blue. Okay, so he's what more can you ask for? I mean, you're surrounded by friends and family, and you've had your food, and so why not just kind of kick back and relax? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So
I think it's medication time.
go right ahead. Go right ahead with my blessing. Take one for me. So I still keep getting these things where okay. Okay, so Panda's not with us, I don't think so. But that's fine. Yeah. No troll messages. Panda is talking to us. He's at the festival that he was telling us about, and so I think he's sending message to the Google Plus thing, Google messaging or whatever, and but no trolls, which is a positive thing or whatever.
Oh,
So
thanks, Spoff, for that.
yeah, yeah. Regrettably, I think I'm going to have to make another video explaining why I can't make videos.
Mhm.
Okay, so he says, good, good. So everything is getting better. So, man, sabotaging. So, there again, I'm not very good at thinking on my feet.
I can't believe it. I take 19 tablets a day.
Yeah, well, you and my dad. My dad has all these. My dad has. He takes so many pills. He has 4 things that he has to set up Monday through Friday or whatever, you know. And so he's probably taking about 19 pills a day. Luckily, I don't have to take medication. I do take melatonin from time to time to help me get to sleep.
Yeah.
So, and
I used to be on that.
you know, and I buy
To help
bottles
me
of
sleep.
aspirin. Yeah, I buy bottles of aspirin. They're cheaper if you buy 100, and they last for like 3 years. And I always wind up throwing it away. Like I may take in those 3 years, I may take 10 of them. You know.
Yeah.
So okay. Okay. Panda says he'll be back when he gets on his computer. But he's on his phone or whatever. So that's fine. And oh, just to recap what we said before, I won't go through the whole list of housekeeping, but next week is the 4th of July, which is a big holiday in my country. So I will not be doing a hangout on Saturday. I will be
Friday.
I'll be doing a 90-minute hangout on Friday and afternoon, which will be the same time, and a 90-minute hangout on Sunday evening, which will be a different time or whatever. And I'll make a video announcement along about Wednesday for that or whatever. But it's the holiday, and I don't expect I'll have many people from my country joining in or whatever. So, but I still want to have hangouts. So we'll go and we'll see how that does. So I understand. Oh, who has watched Joy's videos?
I saw bits of one.
I saw him.
Is he doing okay?
He stopped doing videos because he says his dad and his family have asked him, but he did do a medication update.
Okay, so the family doesn't, but he really didn't share their business. It was mostly all about him, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not exact. He didn't explain exactly what went down, but he's saying his dad asked him to stop making videos, at least the ones that any detail about what's really in depth going on with him.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess.
Why?
His family said his dad says it's hurting the family.
Yeah, and his family. I think his dad has a business too, and so that could potentially hurt his business or whatever. So, but anyway, we will honor Joy's wishes. Okay, many people have a lot of time on their hands. They need to do something useful instead of trolling. This is my opinion. Independence Day is 4th of July. That's right. It's 1 week from today, Ollie, or whatever. And I agree with you. Right down the line, the trolls. You know, start a hangout for trolls. If you're a troll, start a hangout for trolls, and you can all get in there and insult each other or whatever. It might be fun, you know.
Yeah.
It might be funny. It might be like the old Dean Martin roast or whatever, which you can watch on YouTube. I love the old Dean Martin roast.
No, they can get in there. They can get in there and abuse each other.
Yeah.
You know, I talked about this last week, but there's a guy out of England. His name is also last name is also James or whatever, and he invited the trolls into his hangout and said, "Let's go," and nobody showed up. Nobody showed up to do battle with the guy that wanted to fight them back or whatever. So that was very brave of him, I thought. And all he
They
says,
must
"You'll
be
be right
totally
back."
they must be totally disappointed now, Marvin, that they don't have nowhere to go.
No, well, regrettably, I think they probably found somewhere to go. But I'm gonna have to get smarter about these hangouts or whatever. So
Because I was
and
really triggered tonight, Blue.
yeah, I'm so sorry for that.
Here's what they don't get, Marvin. The more they do that, eventually Google's going to and YouTube are going to have to go after them. Or
Yeah.
they're going to destroy the medium. Google and YouTube have to step in and stop this nonsense. It's not just about opinion and content. It's
I'm going to go down and get myself a drink to do this medication.
It's
Last
about,
medication.
Be careful this time, okay?
Don't fall down the stairs.
I don't want to hear any clunks, okay?
Yeah, because last week I fell down the stairs.
Yeah, take your time, Anastasia. So we're not going anywhere for any time soon. So,
Mom, oh crap, Mom, I've just knocked the ironing down the stairs. Can I have a drink, please? I've forgotten it was there. I know.
Okay.
I know I'd forget my head if it was loose. I've just knocked it down the stairs. I'll get it. I just knocked something down the stairs. At least it wasn't myself this time, Marvin. Knocked something off.
Oh gosh. Well, at least it wasn't. At least it wasn't you falling down the stairs. I mean.
Yeah, at least it wasn't me.
Yeah. So.
Like last week.
Yeah.
I need it for my tablet. Crumbs.
No, not crumbs. I said oopsie daisy.
I said, oh, crumbs.
And I guess why.
Why?
I'm just singing out loud right now or whatever, but
playing out.
What's he done?
Sometimes it is easier just to shut down the hangout and start a new hangout or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. We had a lot of trolls. I had to leave the hangout, Mum, because we had a lot of trolls in there.
Did you?
Yeah, people using bad language and stuff, and so I had to leave because it was triggering me. So we had to re-invite me and restart again. Yeah, they are, aren't they? We don't need people like that. They are rude and offensive and everything. Where's my drink?
Here, Madame. You like me to drink it for you?
No.
Oh yeah, I checked. Ali says so. No one is seeing the live hangout right now. Yes, they are. I set it up through on the Google Plus side or whatever, but we are live streaming on
YouTube.
On YouTube. So so there will be a video record of our meeting today.
Yeah.
But the first part of it, I'm going to take private or whatever, and I'm going to keep it as evidence if
Evidence
YouTube or Google needs it or whatever. But I'm going to make it a private video, which I've never even had to do that. All my videos are public. You know, I've never had a private video. So there again, I'm learning new stuff all the time. So and
I didn't fall.
Well, good.
I'm back upstairs now.
And you got your drink of water.
I got my drink of blackcurrant.
Well, good for you or whatever. So, man.
Oh, what a nightmare.
But it's gonna be another layer of stuff that we're gonna have to do because I do want it to be.
Another layer of security.
I do want it to be open and accessible to people that would benefit from it or whatever. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to have to ask around some of these other guys or whatever, see what they're doing, and
Bump up
but
the security.
but the thing about is we're going forward. You know,
Yeah.
there, as far as these hangouts are concerned, I ain't got no quit in me. You know, so
No.
no.
Hey, Marvin, at the rate it's going, you're going to be with the Hangouts. You're going to be the last man standing of the group.
Well,
Yeah.
of our subgroup maybe or whatever, but there are lots of mental health hangouts. I talked about a couple of them or whatever. Dell Channel's doing 2 a week or whatever.
I did
A
just
young
fall
lady.
off my bed.
Oh my gosh! Well, at least it wasn't down the stairs. And
Yeah.
the young lady from Canada, Lisa Emerald, I think is her name. She's doing one twice a month or every other week or something like that or whatever. So. And then there was a guy in her hangout. He was talking about putting out one. So I may be the last man standing in our group or whatever, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Chance, I know, Chance had talked about doing a hangout, but her number one priority right now is her therapy, and which I agree with. You know, she's doing.
She's doing really
I'm
well in
gonna
her therapy.
yeah. I'm going to get the name mixed up or whatever, but it's some type of behavioral therapy or whatever. It's
It's dialectical behavioural therapy.
thank you for that or whatever, and she's doing really well with that or whatever. So that's her number one priority. So you know that's what we want her to take care of or whatever, and so I'm really so but and here's the other thing or whatever. Lots of these groups. You know, take the summer off. So I mean, you know, so we may not get back into it hot and heavy until the fall or whatever, and that's fine. I mean, if it's summertime, you've got things to do outside or whatever. We want you to do things outside. Um,
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to stay within the group and not branch out because sometimes unwanted guests cause mayhem. Exactly right. Exactly right. And that's what I've learned today. But like I was saying before, I hope people will take a lesson from this because when I went to Lisa Emerald's hangout on Monday, I went through. I think I went through the YouTube page or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
also I'm also friends with her on Google Plus, so I can go through it that way. But hopefully this will be a cautionary tale for everybody. And I know we watch each other's videos, so I know the word will get out or whatever. So it's just a little bump in the road, and we're going to get through it. And uh, so, any other thoughts on solitude?
No.
Okay, so does anyone else have anything they want to talk about other than solitude and trolls? I know we talked about a little bit of the news and a little bit of the weather. It gets up to about 93, 94 degrees here, which is good for southeast Texas. The humidity is not that bad, and so I've been here going on 20 years, so I'm used to it by now. So 93 is actually comfortable to me. Okay, maybe not to the folks in England or whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We got
No
up
way.
to 102, Marvin, here.
What the stuff?
I don't think I would like that, even with the low
No, no.
humidity. Okay,
That's horrendous.
Ali is saying that he just wants us to be very cautious or whatever, and I agree with you. We are going to be
Yeah.
cautious, but we are going to move forward. So maybe not as fast as we would like, but we're definitely going to move over.
Oh yeah.
And I like to have constructive feedback. I like to listen to everybody's opinion because that helps me form opinions, you know.
Yeah.
And if two of us if two of us are thinking alike, then there's really not a need for both of us. You know, maybe I didn't say that the right way, but I think we're supposed to all think differently and have different opinions. So does anyone have anything that they would like to talk about now that I've been in my spleen? I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better now. So.
Well, we were talking about the Supreme Court decisions. What's your thinking on the gay marriage decision, Marvin?
Well, first of all, let me say that I respect everybody's religious opinion, okay? And churches are private organizations, and so they have the right to do whatever they want to do in church. Now, having said that, I'm very, very liberal, and my personal position is that, because I have a family member that's gay, and she has a partner who we all love. We all love her, you know, like a member of the family or whatever. And to say that that we're going to stop love, you know, well, for one thing, you can't stop love or whatever. And so it's going to be real neat. My thought was when the decision came down is, why didn't we do this 20 years ago?
Exactly.
You know, but you know, and gay marriage. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but gay marriage doesn't really affect your marriage. You know, I mean, it's not like they're on the street corner, you know, saying everybody have a gay marriage. I mean, they just want to do what's right for them and for their families, and so
it's all about equality.
Yeah,
End of the day.
yeah,
Everyone deserves an equal right.
There you go, and so for me, that's how I feel about it or whatever. But there again, people in their churches have the right to do what they want to do inside their churches or whatever, but the Supreme Court has really surprised me because they've done a couple of things which to me are very progressive this week or whatever, and I hate that it has to go to the Supreme Court. I hate that.
So do I.
Marvin, I think that for me, being somebody who studies the Constitution of the United States, my test is one thing. Are you a citizen of the United States? And if you're a citizen of the United States, then the law should apply equally across the board to all. Doesn't matter. Now, as far as homosexuality goes in the United States, my attitude is it's tolerated, Marvin. It's not accepted. Not saying it's right or wrong, but that's the hard truth of the matter. Generally, even though media tries to portray it otherwise, homosexuality is tolerated in the United States. For the most part, it's not accepted by the majority.
Well,
and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the way it is.
Well, when I see a man and a woman in public going after each other or whatever, you know, my thought is get a room. You know.
Yeah, but it's not right.
That's offensive to me.
Yep.
So if I saw two women out in public or two guys out in public going after each other, I would still say get a room. So I think what happens in the privacy of your bedroom with two consenting adults, let's say, or whatever, and as long as people are safe, I have no problem with that. You know, I don't want to know what's going on in your bedroom. You know, it's your business. You know.
Exactly.
So, and how long has it been legal in the UK?
A couple of years.
Okay, and I think Ireland just had a big referendum, and they made it legal too. So
I'm all for everybody being treated equally under the law. As far as the social side of it, something's going to have to be worked on.
I
mean, for me, I'm gender neutral, so it's a bit difficult for me to find a partner.
Yeah, and in my situation, I'm not looking for a partner or whatever. You know,
I am.
I'll be 50 years old, and like I was saying before, I'm happy to be by myself, and I'm happy to be with a group of people. And I would imagine if I did get married, it would be to someone that enjoyed her solitude or whatever.
See, I want a partner. I hate being single, but I hate being single, but I'd hate being with somebody who dominates me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, and that's one of the things I read about this week. It's interesting. I know I'm going to get her name mixed up, but is it Shalene?
Shalene TV?
Yeah. She had a really nice video. Welcome, Jessica. We've had some drama earlier, but hopefully that's all gone or whatever. But she had a really nice video about solitude or whatever. And then I was reading in one of my books about how people that embrace solitude, sometimes they're afraid of being dominated by other people. And that's certainly one of my fears, being sexually abused when I was a little kid or whatever, by someone who was in authority. I have all kinds of problems with authority figures or whatever. So,
was that in a cult? Because I've got a mailing list for people who were abused in cults.
It was not an official cult or whatever. It was more or less a mainline church, and I really don't want to get into it because it would affect. Yes, we were talking about homosexuality, and we were just expressing our approval of the Supreme Court or whatever. So I mean, this is actually in some ways it's a first kind of a step, but I think we're headed in the right direction. I was listening to NPR this morning, and they were talking about all the legal things that are going to have to change or whatever. That some companies have benefits for partners. Well, those benefits for partners are going to go away. So maybe a gay couple that doesn't want to get married, they're going to have to get married if they want to keep their benefits or whatever. So there's all kinds of legal implications or whatever, and so we're just getting started, But I'm glad that we're going to have marriage equality for everyone. So
yeah.
And I was happy to see that they're going to try to keep the healthcare thing going or whatever, because that would have been a mess.
That would have been a mess, yeah.
Because
I hear that, Jessica. Equal rights for everybody. Period.
There you go.
No special class of people.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I don't think anybody was asking for special rights. They just want, like has been said, equal rights.
No, I think what was asked by the Christian right was a special treatment for a certain section of the population. Myself, I'll be honest with you, Marvin. I don't advocate homosexuality not on moral grounds, but on the way society treats these people, because it's very damaging to people who are that way. And here's another problem I'm having right now. You have a bunch of people coming out saying they're gay. Come back in 10 years and look at that same group that's saying that. Majority of them are going to be, they're not gay. And that affects the true people that are homosexual. And it's not fair because it adds more stigmatism to these people. Say again?
That if they're doing that, they're probably bisexual. They're not actually lesbian.
Yeah, or they're.
Hang on, someone in my system is.
My opinion, they're not bisexual. It's a fad. It's a fad, and they're going through a fad, and they're jumping onto a fad.
I can debate that astrologically.
Do what?
I can debate that astrologically.
Well,
someone in my system is gay.
Come back in 10 years and look at all the people that are going to claim in the next year or the last year that they were gay. A good portion of them are going to deny it.
You're lesbian or you're truly gay.
But it really doesn't.
Someone in my system is.
Yeah,
as far as society goes, as far as the society goes, equal rights for all. No discrimination out there. If you're a citizen, you pay taxes. Hey, everybody should be treated equally, no matter what, under the law.
Yeah, but
exactly.
But I think we're talking about three different things. This morning in
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas, an 82-year-old man married his 85-year-old boyfriend, and they've been living together for over 50 years. So they're gay, okay? But so that's one type of people we're talking about. Other type of people we're talking about are bisexuals, you know. And the third type of people I think we're talking about are people that are maybe unsure and they're experimenting or whatever. And 10 years down the line, they could be whatever, you know.
And I think the
See,
vast majority right now are doing it out of a fad. We've seen this fad with homosexuality come and go many times in the United States. And like I said, I think it denigrates and is derogatory to the people that really are gay.
I've
That's my
got
opinion.
someone in my system who actually is.
Yeah, and there again, I go back to my previous point. You know, whatever you do in the privacy in your bedroom with a consenting adult. Okay, Ollie, thanks for joining us or whatever. Sorry for all the drama.
You know
Ollie
what?
says he has to go now. He's got some things he needs to take care of. So
That,
Go
that
ahead.
will
take
fade
care,
out.
Ollie.
That will fade out as well because back then when dissociative identity disorder was multiple personality disorder, it went through a fad as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
So
yeah.
But I think I think it has a negative impact because people do that.
Bye bye, Ollie.
People who choose that lifestyle, and I don't think it's right, Jessica. I think because you should think wisely before you jump on something just
Yeah.
because it's a fad.
right.
I think it brings negative connotations to the homosexual community. I don't think that's right. I think y'all have enough.
People think my gender identity is a phase, but it's not.
Well, definitely when you've lived with something for your whole life, I mean, that you can't really call that a phase.
Yeah.
So,
And in no way would I ever want anybody to impose you to have to be heterosexual. That's just total nonsense.
I was with guys, so
Go ahead.
I was with guys, so I have.
So
I
you're
know what it's like to
bisexual.
be with a woman. I know what it's like to be with a guy, and I would rather be with a woman.
Hey, whatever trips your trigger.
That's what's more attractive. That's what I'm more attracted to.
Hi, Brianne.
is someone else coming into the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brianna.
Okay, welcome. We had some drama earlier, but we seem to be okay now, or whatever.
And
And,
Yeah.
Jessica, my test of it all is: are you a citizen? If you're a citizen, you shouldn't be denied your rights.
No, you shouldn't.
And my other opinion is, if you're a taxpayer, which most of us are, whether we own property, homes, or otherwise, we shouldn't be denied our rights because we do support the system. I don't believe in the two-tier system for anybody.
That goes for the UK as well.
mhm. UK seems to be a little bit ahead of us on most issues. So,
The best one I heard, Marvin, we found corporations to be persons 5 years before we found gay people to be people.
well, I can do you even one better than that. We had animal cruelty laws in this country long before we had child cruelty laws in this country.
Whoa.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
pretty
is a
much,
that is a
Marvin.
fact.
I'm older than all of, except maybe Carolyn, and pretty much in my day, as long as you didn't damage the kid too much and didn't kill him, you could pretty much do what you wanted to, and not
Yeah.
much was going to be done.
That is wrong. That
Yeah.
is wrong. That is awful.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the
well,
fact of the way it was.
Yeah, and hopefully those days are long gone or whatever. And I was just going to say something about the angry preachers out there. If you're an angry preacher, go ahead and preach your heart out or whatever, and put it on TV, and you'll see your congregations get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, because hatred is just not the way to go. So
How about follow their tenets and doctrines, Marvin, and love everybody. You don't
That's
have to
true.
agree with them, but you're supposed to, by the Christian tenets and doctrine, you're supposed to love everybody, even your enemies.
Oh yeah.
Well, what about that guy in Colorado? You know, he came out and against homosexuality and against gay marriage and everything, and it turned out he was gay.
Well, that's what I told some Republicans. That's what I told some Republicans today. You know, they've had control of the government how many times in the last 25 years, Marvin? Total control, not just partial control, total control. And they couldn't outlaw same-sex marriage. They couldn't outlaw homosexuality. It tends to make me believe as many Republicans they are finding out to be gay that really they didn't want to do it. It just sounded good to some of their constituents.
Yeah. And, well, the thing about it, in the presidential election year, the young people and the minority people, they're going to come out and they're going to vote. So I'm hoping, and I really didn't want to start talking about politics or whatever, but Hillary is not explaining herself very, very well. I've heard some more information coming out about she didn't turn over all the emails in regards to Benghazi, and she hasn't been
We have an ethical issue here, Marvin.
Yeah.
People using in government, and it's not just Hillary. We have this problem that has reared its ugly head multiple times over the last couple of years about elected people, elected officials using their private email account to circumvent our Open Records and Open Information Acts, and that's unethical. Might not be illegal, but it is unethical.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous. That's awful.
But see, the thing about it is people can see right through that or whatever. They can tell if someone's being forthright or whatever. And Hillary Clinton, you know, I wish I could support her, but I just can't. I just have a bad feeling about her. You know,
I'm for Bernie right now, Bernie Sanders.
Oh, he's doing great, man. He's a rock star now, man.
I don't agree with his gun policies, and I don't agree with his climate change belief, but just because he's willing to stand up and say our government is messed up and being honest about it, hey, I'm all for him.
You know,
you can disagree.
The NRA is giving him a D-. So, but having said that, you know, he wants hunters to have guns, and he wants, if you're going to a shooting range for target practice, he wants you to be able to do that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how well he actually does. If he can pull 40% in Iowa and 40% in New Hampshire, what does Hillary do at that point?
Oh, you know? I think and I think it also. I think what it's going to come down to, Marvin, is the silent majority out there that doesn't get involved. Can he energize the silent majority in the youth? Can he energize the silent majority in the middle class? If he can get that energized, I don't think nobody can beat him.
And I'll tell you something else, Blue, that's is starting to come out. Polls are no good anymore.
Oh, who hasn't known that for a while?
What time is it?
It is 20 minutes. I think it's 20 minutes till 10 in your time.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. Well, see, everybody's on their cell phone now, and no one answers their cell phone. So the people, you remember the first polls was done by a magazine that had a very, very conservative base or whatever, and they predicted. I think it was Alf Landon in 1936. They predicted he was going to be the president or whatever,
right.
And of course he lost. So anyway, they're getting a tiny minority of people that will answer their cell phones. That's why the English election, the polls said the English election was a dead heat or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course Cameron did quite well. So the only poll that matters is the poll on election day, and this might be a good thing because if it's a toss-up, I'm going to go vote because I think my vote will actually mean something or whatever. It might be a good thing for the public. It might be a bad thing for pollsters. They might be having to look for a job or whatever. But democracy fun?
And I think if we were going to really have a hard race,
Yeah.
it's going to come down to the Republicans having to bring forth a candidate that has to come back to the center. They can't be on the extreme side. Um, they have to come back to the center.
I'm gonna
Well,
head to bed, Marvin.
all
I'm
right.
gonna
Well,
head to bed.
Anastasia.
thank you for
Night.
joining us,
Yeah,
Anastasia, and I appreciate your patience with all the drama we had to deal with today. So
yeah,
you have a good week, okay?
yeah.
Uh,
Will do.
Marvin, I think it's they're going to have to come to the center, and if they don't do that and they
See
take
you
on
on
this
Friday.
All
later,
right. Bye
uh,
bye.
Bye.
I think they're going to have to, if they want to go out there and claim uh, how the courts were wrong in the decision on same-sex marriage. If they go down that track, they're going to get their butts kicked. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't
Well,
think they have a chance.
well, the Bush family historically was a moderate family or whatever. I remember in 1980. I think in 1980, Bush Senior was pro-choice or whatever, and then he got with Reagan and had to become pro-life, and uh, Jeb. I think George, the second George Bush would have been moderate too, or whatever. He's talking about his compassionate conservatism or whatever. But I think Jeb, I think would be a. I think he can moderate. He wants to reach out to Hispanics or whatever, and some other things. So, but I'm still looking at Rand Paul. He's been quiet for a while, but I think that's the guy. Uh, that's the guy who has the chance to be the Ross Perot this election or whatever.
That's if he can, as his dad did, not completely. If he can energize the youth base,
Yeah,
that's where the feet on the ground, the boots on the ground, going from
yeah.
neighborhood to neighborhood, is what makes the difference. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jessica.
What?
Oh, we thought you said something. You lit up.
No, I was talking to Carolyn outside. Very
Okay.
loud.
Okay.
Hi,
Well,
Caroline.
Sorry.
but there again, like you say, he's got the organization, and he will not have as much money as Jeb Bush, but he'll have enough. He'll have enough to take him to the convention if he wants to go that far. In other words, he can contest every primary if he wants to.
Well, it's just like in my community, we had two people running for a county commissioner's job. One guy didn't have no money. The other guy had all the finances, and the guy had no money because he had youth and boots on the ground beat the guy with money.
There you go.
Because he got out in the neighborhoods and canvassed and went street to street, household to household, and that's what made the difference. And whether it's Bernie or it's Clinton or
Yeah.
it's whoever can energize those boots on the ground to get out there and do the canvassing, they're the
Yeah.
ones that's going to take it.
And I have faith that the Fourth Estate are reporters. They will ferret out if these guys get a sugar daddy that'll give them $100 million or whatever. I know the reporters will ferret that out and let the people know. See, the Supreme Court has said that money is free speech, and I'm all for that. But if Bill Gates gives somebody $100 million to run for president, let's publish that. So the people. I mean, that's free speech too. I have a right to know where the money's coming from, and you have a right to give as much money as you want to whichever politician. Well, Brianna left us, so we must have been getting too political for her. Yeah, but I mean, free speech is free speech, and a right to know is a right to know. So let's just be transparent about everything, you know.
But that's the
So
problem. They don't want to be transparent
no,
about it, Marvin.
no,
They
the
don't want
Koch
it. And I'm
brothers.
sorry. What I always say, you're depending on what used to be called the drive-by media. Now they're called the fly-by media because driving by was just too damn slow.
Okay, Jessica says she's eating lunch, so I hope you're having a good lunch. I had my lunch a couple of hours ago, so.
Jessica,
Uh,
did you bring lunch for everyone?
uh,
If you want to drive down here and get it.
I'll
oh
pass.
man, yeah, me too.
I think I saw the other day y'all were like 114, Jessica.
Ooh, that's gotta be brutal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is today.
That's
Yeah.
gotta be brutal.
I mean, we've been 102 and 103 here, but I was watching out at Yuma. I think they were reporting like 112, 113.
105 right now, it says.
I think it got pretty hot in California too. Of course, when you get away from Los Angeles and you go out, oh my gosh, you know where the military reservations are. I mean, it gets hot out there too. So it's all desert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're kind of cool right now. We've been getting light showers and a lot of cloud cover the last couple of days. So it's kind of, for this time of year, it's kind of been nice.
Well, you know, Atlanta, I think, broke a record the other day, and Charleston, I felt so bad for them poor folks. That big church does not have air conditioning, and it got to like 97, 90, 98 degrees out there the other day, and of course, they had to go to their church and everything. So, uh, yeah, the weather is kind of strange. So,
But and also,
oh,
I
and
think another thing, Marvin, since we're talking politics, I've been reading some people trying to push mental health in this coming election. That some people are claiming that is the next health issue that's going to be taken up out there because basically our mental health system is broken in the U.S.
well, I pray to God that's true because this young man in South Carolina that went to the church and shot everybody or whatever.
Okay, sorry, Marvin, he wasn't crazy. He was evil. There's a difference between crazy and evil. He knew what he was doing, just like the guy in Colorado. Those two gentlemen knew what they were doing. That's evil, Marvin. That's
But I
not
mean,
mental insanity. That's evil.
okay, but have they totally ruled that out though? I mean,
Yeah, he's not crazy. He knew exactly what he was doing.
well, the guy at Sandy Hook was crazy.
Oh, absolutely. But here's the problem. There was people in authority in that community that was told about this kid, and they did nothing.
Yeah. Well, but I'm with you. We do need to get serious about mental health or whatever. But it just seems to me that people think guns are cheaper than mental health. So let's all go buy a gun or whatever.
But let's be honest. Let's be sane about guns in the United States.
Oh yeah.
About 32,000 people die each year from guns. 60% of those are suicide. The 3% are accidents, and the majority other ones are gang or drug-related crime.
Yeah. Well,
The odds statistically of you being in any given year as an individual a victim of gun crime is statistically minuscule. This is how the media has blown this completely out of total proportion. Even violent crime in the United States. On average, there's about over 14,000 murders a year in a population of over 300 million. Do the math. It's your statistically minuscule of being killed by somebody in the United States. Sure, any crime like that is wrong, but you got to at least have some perspective on. You have more chances, Marvin. You have far more chances going to your local hospital and getting killed because of bad procedures and processes than you do. Like 350 to 400,000 people a year die in our hospital from preventable accidents and errors.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me say that I'm a big fan of the Second Amendment. I think owning a gun is our right, or okay. But having said that, I think we need to be responsible about our gun ownership or whatever. And it just kills me when I hear about a little kid that gets into the father's gun or whatever, and he kills himself or he kills his little brother or something. I mean that breaks my heart. And I was lucky. I was in ROTC, and we took a hunter safety course, which taught us the Ten Commandments of hunter safety or whatever.
But they
which,
don't do that anymore, Marvin.
no, they don't. They
When
don't.
I went to school, uh, the 4-H came into the schools and did gun safety
Yeah,
classes. Plus, once you moved up into high school, gun safety was taught by the teachers in ROTC. They
Right.
do gun safety. They don't do gun safety in schools
No.
no more, and that's simply ridiculous. When we got to understand that there's approximately 101 firearms per 100 people in the United States. So there's a firearm for every one of us.
Yeah, yeah, and
And then
I
some.
think yeah. But now my dad had to take a class. He's concealed carry or whatever, so he had to take a class and pass the class in that or whatever. So, but people just have too much access. Little kids, I'm talking about now, to guns, and we were just taught, keep the guns and the ammunition separate. That's what we were taught. And
Marvin, and here's the issue. When I was a kid, I was going hunting by myself with a 22 and a 410 shotgun when I was 9 and 10 years old.
yeah,
It was common for
Yeah.
people at that time, kids to have a gun. But once again, we had family members who taught us gun safety.
right. And you knew it wasn't a toy
Right, exactly, Marvin.
from
I
the
think
get-go.
I think I had my first BB gun at like 6 years old. By the time I was 10, 11, or 12 years old, I was going out squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting,
Yeah.
stuff like that by myself all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my I think my grandparents had guns, and my parents had guns or whatever. But we were, I mean, it was impressed upon us. You don't touch the guns or whatever.
Or you
And
don't
I don't think
play.
my parents, I don't think my parents ever had kept a loaded gun anywhere in the house or whatever. Now my mother, we raised rabbits and chickens and things, so every now and then my mother had to go out and kill a stray dog or whatever to protect our chickens and rabbits and stuff like that. So
Jessica could have been a contender.
I'm all for people learning
Self-defense.
self-defense. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially the martial arts, because the martial arts not only teach you self-defense, they also teach you self-discipline. So that's important.
And,
We
and
don't do
Marvin,
that.
I don't personally own a gun. There's not a gun in my house. One of the reasons is my wife shoots awful good.
Okay, well, my dad owns several guns, and I've got a 22 long rifle, single shot, with some bird shot that he lent to me in my house. So if I can take care. I can shoot somebody one time. It won't kill you, but it'll hurt you or whatever, and maybe you'll run away. But and that's the other thing I do. Whenever I see a gun, someone shows me a gun, I say, "Hey, show me how you load this thing." And what I'm really saying is, show me that it's unloaded. But I try to be nice about it. Just, hey, show me how this thing works. I've never seen. Is that a bolt action? What? Just show me how it works, whatever, so I can
In my
determine that it's.
parents' house, there was loaded guns.
Yeah.
In my, that was just. But we were taught you do not play with a gun.
Yeah.
If you're going hunting, make sure you use the safety procedures necessary when you're carrying
Yeah.
a gun. But as far as people jacking around, throwing around a gun, hey, waving it around, just showing off with it, that wasn't allowed in my family's home.
No, 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 and that's the other thing is that. But I've got to put my head around having a loaded gun in the house with little kids. Maybe if it's secure, then maybe that's okay or whatever.
Yeah,
But
like my
luckily,
niece, like my brother and his niece. Since she was 5 years old, he was taking her out, teaching her to shoot. She had her own guns and everything. I mean, she'd go deer hunting and bring down deers. But he was also teaching her to bow hunt and everything else. So she's pretty much trained on how to use gun. Now, my other brother, who's the police officer, he didn't do that so much with his kids, and I don't understand why.
yeah. Well, I've got a cousin who shot her first deer when she was 12 or whatever, and they put her picture in the paper, right, with the deer. So I'm not against people
We need to
going
get
to
back to
hunt.
teaching us safeties of guns.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think that's
safety.
where the disconnect, Marvin, has taken place in this country. We've not taught the safety aspect to the children, even who have families that don't have guns. I think everybody should understand about guns and the uses and the process and the safety and steps you use when you're around a firearm. Uh,
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of minutes before the hour or whatever, and I want to honor everybody's time. And so we're gonna close down here in a couple of minutes, or whatever. But while I'm still on the YouTube feed, the first hangout today, I'm going to take private or whatever, because I don't think people should have to watch that, and I would appreciate it if you don't share that video or whatever. And next week, like I said before, and I'll make a video in the week to give further details. But next week I'm going to do a hangout on Friday. It'll be from 2 p.m. to 3:30, and then I'll probably do another video on Sunday night, which will be from 7 p.m. to 8:30 Central Time or whatever, because I realize people are going to have the 4th of July off or whatever. So I want people to enjoy their 4th of July, but then I also want to bracket. I want to bracket the holiday or whatever. So does anyone else have anything they want to say before we close off? There again, I'm just so terribly sorry about the drama we had to experience earlier today, and going forward, I will try to eliminate that.
Yeah, don't apologize. It wasn't your fault. You can't be held responsible for others' ignorance.
That's true, but I think maybe I could have acted a little bit faster than what I did or whatever. But we'll get it next time.
You're
We'll get it
human,
next time.
Marvin. You're human, dude.
Well, I appreciate your
But
your
before
kind
we
words.
close out the public section here, Marvin, if you were going to stand before, or you and Jessica, I want to ask Jessica because she is going into the professional field. What legislation would you like to see promoted by a presidential candidate this coming election cycle? What policies do you think they should support?
I would say the environment.
Okay, and
Well, I was asking mental health wise.
well, if we could just have the public option and have medical care available to everyone, because my understanding is Obamacare only took care of maybe half of the problem or whatever. So I would like to see, I'd like to see Medicare for every American or whatever. That'd be my thing, And of course, I share your concern about the environment, and I think the most, of course, if we take care of the environment, that'll make people healthy too. But I think the most important thing is that we get everybody insured. Now that everybody can get married, everybody should be able to have health care as well. So, okay, so I'm going to stop the live broadcast at this point. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see everybody next time.